with all the hullabaloo. It's a word I haven't used in forever. Hullabaloo. With all the hullabaloo about the hurricane, I haven't heard a single thing about 911. Thermal wave, yes. I thought we'd share stories today. You know, not to be negative about September 11th, about 911. Maybe just to share, because as you may have guessed, I have a personal story to share, and it's kind of funny, although on the actual day it was not funny at all, but our whole family laughs about it now, all these years later. So, and I'm kind of curious, for those of you, you know, in a different country, like what was your kind of media coverage were you getting versus the media coverage that we were getting? So it's interesting how the news is. You know, any other year, 911 would have been ravaging all over every channel. And Donald Trump, all this awful Donald Trump news, awful this news, awful that news would be everywhere. So now we don't hear about it because they're so focused on the hurricane. So it makes me rethink about the stuff we get from the media. And is it really news of importance, or is it what they need to fill the airwaves to get paid by the advertisers? I don't know. I don't want to be negative, but Mike is back. Yes. Good. Thank you, Mike. I'm just mulling over the fact how every year at September 11th, like a week before, it's the media just makes a big deal about it, and now how we haven't heard a single thing. Well, maybe other areas have. I'm kind of looking at the news off and on, but I thought it'd be fun to share stories. I never really heard of 9/11. Everybody talks about it, but I don't even know what it is. Well, the day, September 11th, 2001, when the Twin Towers, these two biggest towers in New York City, were brought down by two aircraft, one aircraft in each plane. And then also there was an aircraft that crashed near our Pentagon, and just pandemonium struck the airwaves. You know, it was like, you know, a lot of people called it like a surreal moment, like you're seeing it on TV and you cannot believe it. Can you imagine the people that were right there in New York City? So when they refer to 911, and it was 16 years ago, so if you're a young adult, you know, you may have just been in grammar school or junior high, so it's understandable. But I thought I'd share, and you guys maybe can share your story. And I don't mean to laugh. If I start laughing, it has nothing to do with the tragedy of that day. It's just I'm recalling the pandemonium. The pandemonium in our house, and the craziness in my brain, and the mild anxiety panic attack I kind of brought on myself. It's kind of funny now that I think about it. I've kind of got 2 cups of stuff here. I'm kind of finishing up this coffee. Let me just really quick. They're saying close to 6 million people without power. I'm wondering what's worse, the actual hurricane or now all this post trauma of no power. So I don't know. I haven't heard of any deaths. Mississippi is here, and Daniel is here. Mississippi, watching the September 11th attacks happening during my English class. So you were in class. Either you were a student English class or you're a teacher. You were teaching the class. Well, so was President Bush, wasn't he in a classroom with grammar school kids? Oh my goodness. Yeah, but I had mentioned how I have not heard one thing on the news about September 11th, because obviously they're talking about the hurricane stuff. But any other past year, we'd be having all these movies, these documentaries, and footage from the day over and over again. So it makes me think, how much do I want to watch the news? Mississippi, yes, I was a student, and the teachers were told to turn on the television. I think, oh my goodness. Daniel, I was in the middle of school. Someone was like, do you know the Twin Towers? Well, they're gone. And no one could believe it. No one could believe it. Oh my goodness. So at the time, Daniel, were you in Mexico City? Or were you here? I'm curious to know. It was the same for us. I don't understand really what I was on. Yeah, like you can't believe. You see it, but you can't believe it. I'm kind of curious, how was the media in other countries on that day? Oh my gosh. You guys will never believe my story. I might as well share it because I don't know how long I can be here, but let's see. Oh, Mike. That's right, Brooklyn Mike. Brooklyn, oh my goodness. So, I should call you Brooklyn Breakin, or Brooklyn, yeah. Oh my goodness. But that's close enough to New York City. So, I was in Mexico City, but the media was insane. Oh, okay. Interesting. Oops, I lost everybody for a second here. Hold on. Here we are. Yeah, because you would never expect that could happen to the United States. TV shows spent a minute in silence. Oh my goodness. I do not remember any minute of silence. I think the silence that I do remember was from the actual host. I was listening to both the radio and TV, and they weren't talking a mile a minute, and that was a little unsettling. Mississippi, my mother was in a full-blown panic when I got home from school that day. She was folding towels and told me to go pack a suit. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at you. Pack a suitcase. Even at that age, I remember it being like, Where will we go anyways? Oh, I'm not laughing at you. I'm relating. I can totally put myself there in both positions as the mom, the mom having the panic attack, and the kid coming home thinking, where are we going? And if you're out Mississippi way, I understand it because obviously that's closer to New York. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I should have even done this story time because I already know I'm going to start laughing at myself. But good news is it looks like nobody has died. I haven't seen any deaths here in the United States because of the hurricane. Daniel says, a friend of mine was in Orlando and he couldn't come back for another 3 weeks. That's right, because they shut down the airplane trips. It was crazy all over. Remember that? Do you remember it? They shut down planes. I do believe planes were grounded all over the world for like a whole 24 hours at least. I'm almost positive it was a global shutdown of flights. And I also recall that there was some kind of difference with the atmosphere because of the no aircraft air. I think it's a sign of healing that now we can look back at ourselves and find humor. Oh, isn't that the truth? I would really have to rethink my life if here I am 16 years later recalling that moment and still having a panic attack. That's a good point. But I do enjoy the fact that it's not all over anywhere. In fact, in our little, we have this little, I just had it here, this little, it's like a little circular that comes around every Friday. And normally the front page would be all about 9/11. They haven't talked about anything. This was for publication on Friday the 8th. So this would have been, they could have had the choice to talk about the hurricane or the 9/11. And they didn't talk about a thing, so I don't know what to think of that. Daniel, did you know that Seth, the Family Guy, was supposed to be on one of those planes and he overslept? I didn't know that was him, but I do recall people saying they were supposed to be there, or not so much on the plane, but people that were supposed to be at the Twin Tower or something. I've heard that. Oh, like how do you deal with that the rest of your life, thinking of that? You would kind of have to not think about it. You would just have to be settled. Brooklyn Mike. I was getting ready for work that day, and I usually have the news on to watch the weather. And what do I see? The plane hitting the tower. My hard drive. Oh, like could you even believe that was real? Yeah, if I had just seen it, I don't know if I could believe it was real. What made it real for me was the newscasters, our local people. You know, you're familiar with your news people. whether it's radio or TV, you understand their voice, their personality, the show, the speed of the show. The radio show, because again, it was near 9 a.m. here, so for you guys it was a little bit later. But I'm wondering, had I have just seen the video, would I have believed it? Maybe not. It was the anchor people that's kind of scared me when I realized that this is real. And look at them; they're like dumbfounded. I didn't initially know what I was saying or if it was real. So were you in high school, Mississippi, like high school, junior high, maybe college? So in Brooklyn, I just think of all those little cities. Like you could, as the day went on, obviously from Brooklyn, you could look out and see the terrible effects in your sky, I'm sure. Daniel, I remember when the first plane hit a Mexican newscast. I remember when the first plane hit a Mexican newscaster, immediately knew it was an attack. I knew it because newscaster is like a comedic one, and he was dead serious. Yes. I was in my last year of junior high, which is strange time in life anyway. Exactly. Junior high is like the worst. Oh my goodness. That is the worst. Daniel, yes, I had one news radio guy who I loved, who was just a spitball, and he was a character and would go a mile a minute, and that was like kind of silence and slow on the radio. Exactly. That's a spooky feeling. Well, I hope I haven't spoken too soon. I hope that now that the hurricane kind of has come and gone, I'm on some slow hotel Wi-Fi right now. Apologies if I'm missing something. Oh, you're doing good, Mississippi. No worries. Yeah, not a story of my life. Crazy Wi-Fi. No worries. Thank you. Well, I will try to... I don't want to start laughing like a crazy woman. It's so funny now when I think of it. Back in the day, 2001, September 11th. Busy morning as per usual. I cannot remember the day of the week. I do not think it was a Monday. For some reason, I'm thinking it's like a Tuesday. Thursday. I recently watched Howard Stern's 9/11 show, and it is bitter knowing his show. Oh, that's right. Howard Stern is another. He's another guy. You know his style, and when he backs it up and gets real, that would be frightening. Good morning, Omar King. Yes, I think it was a Tuesday. I know it wasn't a Monday. Yes, good. Thank you, Daniel. So our house is busy. I was not working at the time. My husband, he is a genealogy aficionado. He loves genealogy. And one of his friends was also interested, and they had planned this Tuesday, September 11th. They had planned it for weeks. They were heading into Los Angeles to go to the Mormon genealogy. For some reason, Mormon people have like this huge genealogy library. I don't know why, but anyway. So we're having our typical busy morning. Both my girls, at that time, they commuted. They went to private schools, commuted from our house. It was not quite even a 20-minute ride. Wait, time out. Let's see what Mike said. No, but at first, when I saw the next plane hit, I dropped on my knees and started, cry. And my phone started to ring like crazy, and my son's school called me, and I had to pick him up. That's right, because you would have been like around 12 noon. Omar was still a beast. Okay, Omar, so you're just going to have to sit and listen to us old folks, old timers talk about. Oh, yeah, that would be spooky. Brooklyn might, because your family isn't there. Yeah, that would be a little unsettling. Okay, I'm gonna hold off, and I'll catch up with comments after. So we're having a busy morning. My husband's getting all ready to go with his friend to Los Angeles, and this is happening. And, my husband's, he's in one room getting ready, watching on TV. I'm kind of getting the kids ready for school, and I'm kind of watching it on the TV after my husband says, "Did you hear what happened?" And then I kind of get a little panic because I know I'm driving the kids to school. The friend comes over, no, before the friend came over. Oh, your birthday the day before. Hi, Dave. So he's getting ready, and I'm going, hold on, you're still going? And I could tell the panic was setting in. I said, hold on, you're still going after all this? And at our time, I believe the second plane hit around 9 o'clock, or a little after 9. And, school started at 9, so we kind of had to be there a little bit before 9. And he's as calm as can be. He said, well, we planned it. This isn't happening in Los Angeles. This is all going on in New York. Oh, my gosh. That right when I could tell in his voice that he was not worried or concerned, I could feel my stomach getting nervous for a panic attack. And so then, kids are getting ready. I said, I don't know. I don't think I should be taking them to school. And then one school had called and said to my daughter, who drove herself, she didn't go in. They had said not to go in because it was still in the early morning for us. Then my other daughter with the other school hadn't heard anything, couldn't get through. Then I thought, well, maybe I am a little bit over-exaggerating. Maybe everybody here in the LA area, California, they're having a normal day. So, bigger than beans, I start driving. Well, before I start driving, I kind of made a last plea effort. The friend had come over, and I kind of checked with him. They were both getting their last-minute things together. We're all gathered in the front room. I said, so wait a minute. You guys are both serious about going to LA, and this doesn't bother you in the least. And both of them said, well, no, we're doing fine. We don't have to worry here. I said, well, doesn't it make sense that if they're focused on New York and the Pentagon, that they might have planes come and kill us in Los Angeles area? And they said, that's not going to happen. Okay. And I realized they are serious. They're totally both serious. They could care less. And I'm kind of on my own. So I get in my daughter in the car, and we start driving, and I'm driving. But if I do recall correctly, only one plane had hit when we were having this conversation. I start going up the grade. I had to go up this grade, which is always spooky because everybody always wonders if their car is going to overheat. I'm going up the grade. I'm worried about is my car going to overheat? And that's when the second plane hit. And the newscaster that I listened to, that's when I got scared. Because he's a big personality with a big voice and always making funny things. And it was quiet. And I'm going up the grade, and I'm hearing them talk about, oh my gosh. I have made myself so panic that right when I get to the top, I tell my daughter, we're not going to school. I get to the top of the grade, I get off the off-ramp, and come back down, come back home. And at that time, like our cell phone, there was a message, or my daughter said she had an email. We got through, and yes, they had canceled class. So come back home, and so I'm home with the girls, and just stuck at home having to listen to the news, even though I have my husband's cell phone number and his friend's cell phone number, and they assured me if anything happened, they'd be home right away. It was so unsettling. Oh, you're welcome, Stephen. So that's what I remember about the day. The panic feeling, and then watching the news all day, but then the anger that I felt towards my husband and his friend, because they kind of fanned each other's fire. Like, I wonder if my husband was by himself, like, would he have been a little bit more sympathetic toward me, or was because they were both together, they like buddied up against me. It was just terrible what I was thinking. I'm home and we're going through all this panic, and my husband and his friend are at the Mormon genealogy library having a time. All right, have a good day. Thank you, Hubby. Thanks for stopping in. So, I think what made my situation worse is I carried around a lot of anger. Like, just so angry, like at my husband, and I obsessed thinking, like, this is a big deal, and he can't see how panicked I am. And I started thinking, like, is he gonna take care of us if like a real big disaster strikes? Is this what I have to look forward to? And of course that's not true, and of course he was absolutely right. There was nothing to fear here locally. But he didn't know that when all this was happening. And I guess that's what Omar, we had just mentioned, Omar, that I should be proud of myself that we're here 16 years later, and I can look at it and laugh and no longer be angry or no longer be panicked. And I am grateful it's not all over the news again. Let me take a picture. There. They're still talking about the Florida hurricane. And just a little side note here, for those of you who like white noise, I'm so upset. The air conditioner just flicked on. I usually go around and shut off everything. So it kind of bothers me when these appliances go off, so I apologize. But I do know there's a handful of you who love the background noise. Stephen, it was a sad day. I was in Houston at the time, Texas. Crazy thing, the day before my 21st the day before was my 21st birthday. My brother was put on alert. He was in the Army Saturday. You have the same birthday as did, it was my birthday the day before. Mike Braken, and you have the same birthday. Checking up on my family, friends, a couple of people. I don't know. Oh, and then Mike walked to New York City. Oh my goodness. Mississippi. I've been to United Flight. Oh, I've traveled for work, so I'm blessed to be. Oh, I bet. In Pennsylvania. Oh my goodness. That is something. Mike lives in Brooklyn. He walked on the Brooklyn Bridge because all the bridges were blocked. Oh, that's a panic attack for me. Knowing you can't get through. It looked like the world was ending and the sky was dark. Flight 93 Memorial is very moving, I bet. Oh, yours is September 12th. Okay, so one was the day after, and one was the day before. So you guys have birthdays, Stephen and Mike. Yeah, and the videos of the people that were in those little side streets of New York City. That is, like, how do you ever... There's Gardena, California. How do you ever, like, get those images out of... Of course, we don't get the images of the plane out, we'll always have that, but next to that is the video from the people in the nearby streets. Oh my goodness. And then hearing the stories of the people, like someone shared earlier. Well, happy birthday, Stephen, tomorrow. Happy belated birthday, Mike, yesterday. And September 24th for Omar. Happy birthday to you, September. Folks, yeah, like that is a life changer when you think I was supposed to be on that plane to help in any way. It just said, yeah, you're just like stuck. I can imagine. Those people that were supposed to be on the plane or on whatever plane that crashed were supposed to be at the Twin Towers, and their whole life now is different because at the last second they didn't go to work, or at the last second this, that. I've thought about that. Who else I think about? We all know this was, remember the plane crash with, was it, all those people from the 50s that died in a plane crash. For some reason, I can't think of the Big Bopper. But Waylon Jennings, the country guy, was supposed to be on that plane. He didn't go. Who were the other people that all got killed in that plane crash? Big Bopper, I think, and 2 or 3 other people. But Waylon Jennings opted to give his seat to somebody, I think, and they all died. What does that do to your life? I'm just thinking out loud. And the other one, Reba McEntire, the country singer. I don't know how long ago now, 10, 15, 20 years ago, her whole band or her whole backup, either the instruments or both singers and backup band, all died in a plane crash. I think there were around 10 or 11 people, I think. But I just remember hearing about it and was so, sick. I think she was supposed to be on the plane. I'm not sure. But whether she was supposed to be on it or not, how does that affect you? You know, it's sad enough if one day we have to have a friend who died, or close acquaintance, but then to have that many of your close workers, who you travel with, you work with, and they're all dead. Oh my goodness. Anyways. Well, you guys, this has been a nice little get together. I am happy. I haven't heard about a bunch of deaths. I haven't heard of a single death, really, on the States. I know they had some lives taken in the islands before the hurricane hit us. And thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. It helped. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more YouTube, the algorithm picks it up and sends it for more people to watch. So thank you. Yes, Omar, you too. Thank you. Mike, did you guys watch on the news the people? Oh my goodness, jumping off the building. You're right. I think we did see a couple of them live. And then, of course, every year, yes, that, I think that did make me sick. And I had to not watch it because that is terrible. You're really watching that live. Totally remember that. Sarah, hello, welcome. Yes. We're kind of winding up our September 11th story. So be sure to re-listen. I'm proud of myself. I didn't start laughing hysterical about my story. The truth was, it wasn't funny back then, but all these years later, when I look at the day unfolded, my day of anxiety and panic attack, I'm just glad I can laugh at myself now. Okay, Omar. Thank you for stopping by. Bye-bye. It is kind of nice to not have it all over the news. The news has been sidetracked with the hurricane. I'm just curious. I don't like to be mean to the news people, but the big channel we have for world news is MSNBC. And thank God they stopped showing it on TV. Yes, I agree. That was awful. MSNBC, really do not like that channel, but I was watching it for Hurricane Update. Do you know that possibly they realized they were so low on viewership? Do you know there were so many times I was watching MSNBC and they were plugged into the Weather Channel. So I could not believe it, and all I could think was, oh, Stephen, thank you, and have a good day to you, my. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you. Now, why would MSNBC do that? Why would they show us the footage from the Weather Channel unless nobody was watching them and they felt the better news? They could tell that more people were watching the Weather Channel, so they wanted to get in that viewership to please their advertisers. I don't know, but long story short, and I'm not sometimes I'm not too smart to pick up on things, but let me tell you, if you're listening to one news channel and they're telling you or showing you news coming from another channel, I would find a different news channel to watch. Anyways, and again, I don't mean to be grumpy, but that news channel has just kind of lost my attention for a long while now. It's just gotten to a point. And again, for those of you I can't see, for those of you who just come in and out because you don't have a YouTube channel name, I want to encourage you to make a YouTube channel name for yourself so you can visit with us. We can chit chat. Have more. I can have more of an interaction with my viewers. The first step for you to be able to leave messages and visit is to get a Gmail account. And then you get a YouTube channel name, and you don't have to have a YouTube channel and do YouTube videos. It's just a YouTube that you can participate in the live streams. That'd be because my statistic page shows that a lot of you guys are watching, but I can't see you because it doesn't show them. It doesn't show you guys who are just visiting without a screen name. So, again, I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed this with you guys today. My C's candy mug. My long nails. Lately, I'm shocked at my own self at my fingernails. I do absolutely nothing to them, and they've been growing really nice. But I think I mentioned it was since I started taking my cortisol supplement, my vitamins and minerals have been I've been able to my vitamins and minerals are not digesting. What's the word I'm looking for? Like when I can't think of the word, but when your body is stressed out and you have high cortisol, absorbing, my body is properly absorbing my vitamins and minerals now. So when you have a cortisol problem and your body is stressed, your body can't absorb properly the vitamins and minerals it needs. So somehow my adrenal support supplement has helped my fingernails. Because I know I've tried all the tricks before that people say, oh, do this and do that and you'll have healthy, strong nails. It never worked. Anyway, and my C's candy mug. So, well, thank you guys. And I'm ready to close up shop for this morning. Or this evening, if we're watching this in the evening. I hope it was a relaxing video for you. And a reminder that if you enjoyed this video, to remember to hit the thumbs up button, give it a like, and or share this video with somebody who you know might enjoy it or find it relaxing. as I find out how the YouTube algorithm works, the more likes a video receives, the more YouTube will spread it around for more viewership. Okay. Thanks for watching.